We have some big updates on Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the talks that are going on, and Trump's role in it all. I'll get to a reporter breaking the news to Trump and asking him about the fact that Putin no-called, no-showed to the quote-unquote peace talks that were suggested by him, and this game we're doing over and over again. I don't want to get on the whole rant again, so let me just say it simply, otherwise it'll take me 2 hours to rant about, which is that anyone who is saying Zelensky was the impediment to peace was wrong, to use a nice word. And clearly Putin's doing a game where he's acting like he wants peace to make Trump bash on Zelensky, and then the second that Zelensky gives every single thing, Putin goes, never mind, I want to continue the war. So here's the news about this meeting turning out to not have manifested the way that people were hoping.
This is a Fox News Update. I'm Kevin Cork in Washington. President Trump and his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, will not attend tomorrow's peace talks between Kyiv and Moscow. That after learning that Putin was not on the list of attendees. A U.S. official said once we learned that, they took the president off the possible list of attendees as well. As for Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, well, he's on his way to Turkey. He earlier said he'd only take part in talks if Putin was present. President Trump, for his part, wants the two sides to sign a 30-day ceasefire deal. We'll see if that happens.
So there's a bunch of contradictions in Trump argument. It goes something like, I don't care that Putin didn't show up because I didn't show up, but I didn't show up because Putin didn't show up. But Putin wasn't going to show up if I didn't show up. But I didn't show up because it's very strange. You'll hear it in a second here. But NBC reports Trump says nothing will happen during Ukraine peace talks as Putin skips out. High-stakes peace talks in Istanbul, Turkey, Thursday between Russia and Ukraine that were called for by Putin himself hit speed bumps as the Kremlin confirmed he would be skipping the negotiations. And President Donald Trump added that nothing would happen unless he and his Russian counterpart attended. Well, then what? You're saying he would go if you went, then why didn't you go? But you're saying you would have gone. As you'll see, it's all very senseless. And meanwhile, his MAGA accounts on X, on the video we're about to watch, are hyping him up, saying Trump says nothing's going to happen if Putin doesn't. He's right. Yeah, Trump, peacemaker. And here's Trump having the reporter break this to him, and he says he's not disappointed.
Mr. President, are you disappointed in the level of the delegation that the Russians sent to Turkey?
I don't know anything about it. I'm not disappointed in anything. Who are you from?
BBC News.
I'm not disappointed. What would I be disappointed? We just took in $4 trillion, and he says, are you disappointed about a delegation? I know nothing about a delegation. I haven't even checked. Look, nothing's going to happen until Putin and I get together, okay? And obviously he wasn't going to go. He was going to go, but he thought I was going to go. He wasn't going if I wasn't there. And I don't believe anything's going to happen, whether you like it or not, until he and I get together. But we're going to have to get it solved because too many people are dying.
Okay, so that's part one. But at a different place, he was asked about it. And listen to the language again.
Jennifer, go ahead.
Mr. President, no Putin's address. No Putin's address. Are you disappointed by that?
No, I didn't anticipate. I actually said, why would he go if I'm not going? Because I wasn't going to go. I wasn't planning to go. I would go, but I wasn't planning to go. And I said, I don't think he's going to go if I don't go. And that's turned out to be right. But we have people there. Marco, as you know, is doing a fantastic job. Marco's there, Secretary of State, and we have people there. But I didn't think it was possible for Putin to go if I'm not there. Jennifer?
First off, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate this show. Millions of people watch per week who aren't subscribed. So he says there, I would have gone, but Putin didn't go because I didn't go. But I didn't go because I knew it wouldn't work if Putin didn't go. That logic doesn't make any sense whatsoever, sir. None. Logic that does make sense was President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky's response when he was asked, what's your message to Putin when he arrived at the peace negotiations that in one moment seemed like they were going to be between Trump, Putin, and Zelensky, and now it's just Zelensky and then delegates of other countries?
President Zelensky, Sky News, do you have a message for Vladimir Putin?
I'm here. I think
This is all so very real, but that was very much of a movie scene. Do you have a message? I'm here.
President Zelensky, Sky News, do you have a message for Vladimir Putin?
I'm here. I think this is very clear message.
Yeah, so he's saying if Putin's serious and Putin suggested this, then he should come and meet with me himself. Which, by the way, how do you make sure no one gets assassinated? I know that's kind of a touchy subject, but like, let's really wonder to ourselves. Zelensky's in the room with Russian people. Putin's there. Putin's the murderous dictator. But probably Putin wants to murder Zelensky too. But Zelensky would definitely be fine if Putin ate a bad meal. Maybe you know what I mean? If he got a little bit of indigestion that led to him keeling over. I'm sure that would be fine with Zelensky. He wouldn't be heartbroken. And then obviously we've seen a lot of different people have tried to assassinate Trump. So that would be a crazy triad. I saw one outlet describe it as a three-way negotiation. So it would have been interesting in a global event if they had had a three-way negotiation with each other. And how do you keep everyone safe at that three-way, negotiation? That would be a really interesting sort of event. A freak-off. No. And at one of these same pressers, Trump was talking about, what was he talking about? I think he was talking about Ukraine and the war, and then all of a sudden he gets distracted about how Sean Duffy can climb up trees.
When you look at what's happening with Russia and Ukraine, the drone is killing tremendous numbers of people. You hide behind a tree and the drone comes down and it circles you with fire. You don't have a chance. The tree comes down also, by the way. It's so intense. You see these trees being knocked down like they're being sawed down by a top-of-the-line timberman, like you know who? Sean Duffy. Do you know that Sean Duffy, the head of the transportation department, who's working right now on the airports and getting a system because Biden didn't do a thing?
So he just gets totally distracted. He's rambling about drones, and then now he's talking about Sean Duffy. We'll get to the climbing up trees part, but look, if you put this on screen, Jade, this person, Larry Culp, and Kelly Ortberg, they look at their faces. Just what we're talking about. Drones cutting down a tree, and now we're talking about Sean Duffy. Why are we talking about Sean Duffy? We didn't know until he doubled down on it. This is why that tree anecdote came to his mind with Sean Duffy.
We're going to be giving that out pretty soon, but what people don't know about Sean, because I mentioned lumberjacks, that Sean, you probably didn't know this, that I'm not talking about this Sean. This Sean, no, this is not.
You could just use his last name and that would clarify it for everybody.
About Sean, because I mentioned lumberjacks, that Sean, you probably didn't know this, that I'm not talking about this Sean. This Sean, no, this is a different Sean. Sean Duffy, the head of transportation. He's a great Sean, though, I have to tell you. But Sean Duffy was the world champion for 5 years, climbing trees and down, up and down, world champion. So that's what you call a serious lumberjack. And he's doing a fantastic job, too, a really respected guy and a terrific guy. And I mentioned the champion because when somebody's a champion, he's the world champion for a long time.
For climbing up trees, is that, I don't know what that is. Is that a thing? I honestly don't know. It is? Climbing up trees? It's like a lumberjack. Competitions. Cole says there's lumberjack competitions. Nerd. No, I'm kidding. All right, cool. Cool, I guess. And that's why he would be good transportation secretary.
The champion, because when somebody's a champion, he's the world champion for a long time. He came down, when you come down those trees, coming down at a rapid, he said that started getting you back. You will often break your back. You miss a shot and you're coming down a lot faster than the human body was meant to come down. But he's doing a fantastic job at transportation. But this has been a very historic trip.
Mr. President, I asked about tariffs. Could we get back to the drones? And then just a little bit more of this. He attacks Pete Buttigieg.
Tree comes down also, by the way. It's so intense. You see these trees being knocked down like they're being sawed down by a top of the line timberman like you know who? Sean
So this is the last clip, but it goes into where he went next with this.
Duffy. Do you know that Sean Duffy, the head of the transportation department, who's working right now on the airports and getting a system because Biden didn't do a thing for 4 years, and Pete Buttigieg was the head.
Why doesn't he know his name? That's really weird. Buttigieg.
The airports and getting a system because Biden didn't do a thing for 4 years, and Pete Buttigieg was the head, and he goes bicycling to work. He takes a bicycle to work. Can you believe he's running the biggest air system in the world, and he takes a bicycle to work?
Hey, Don, let's just talk for a second here. You look away. Okay, and I'm not saying a good way or bad. I'm just saying you look away. Physically. Fine. Great. I love it. It's just you do happen to look. Pete Buttigieg looks another way. Not good, not bad, just different. Right? I don't pay any of the employees more or less. I just pay them differently. Similar concept here. Just differently. Maybe a part of why Pete Buttigieg looks the way that he does is that he bicycled to work. You never know. Could be. Which again, fine that you don't. I know you have that belief that exercise is using your finite energy that you have to reserve to live longer or something, but it's a thought.
And they say he's going to run for president. I don't see it. Who knows, right? But I don't see it. But when I look at what they've done, is so horrible what they've done, and the work they did do. They wasted billions of dollars. They tried to hook up air systems to copper, and they tried to hook up copper to.
Yeah, so some of this might not land. What he's doing and what we're hearing Sean Duffy doing is just saying this is all the issues we've seen, Newark airport disaster, the actual disasters that have been happening, the loss of life, that all of that is the fault of the Biden administration, but then the tenuous connections they make to that are a little bit bizarre. Especially when, I mean, as they say, the buck stops with you, right? You're in power now, so take some accountability. But he struggles to do that. Tell me your thoughts in the comments.